Now let's start off with chapter 1, the world through our senses. So as we all know, we have 5 different sensory organs. Now let's look at the diagram below and try to identify which sensory organ are we using. When a man tried to touch the cactus, when the chef tried to smell the food that he cooked, when a woman tried to taste the soup, the little girl trying to hear the phone, and when you see this number. In general, we have 5 sensory organs, which includes the hand, nose, ears, eyes, and finally the tongue. Now let's move on to the first section that we are going to discuss on. The sensory organ and their function. First of all, sensory organ defined as the organ that detects changes that occurs in its environment. Stimuli, a change in the environment that causes the body to react or respond to it. Finally, senses, a detectors used to find out the stimuli. The 5 senses that we have, which are the skin, nose, tongue, ears, and eyes. Skin, sense of touch. The type of stimuli includes pressure, heat, cold, and pain. Nose, the sense of smell. The type of stimuli includes the chemicals in the air. While for the tongue, the sense of taste. Types of stimuli includes the chemicals in food. Ears, the sense of hearing, with the stimuli of sound. Finally, the eyes, the sense of sight. The light will be the stimuli. So, without sensory organ, we will not be able to know what is happening in our surrounding. So, we must take care of our sensory organs from injuries. This is very important. How does we respond towards stimulus? So this shows the diagram shows a nervous system of human. First of all, the brain and the spinal cord. Both of the brain and spinal cord, they work together to process stimuli detected by the receptors. They help to inform the muscles or the glands to respond to stimuli. While the nerve helps to carry information from the receptor to spinal cord and brain, or from the brain and spinal cord to the muscle or glands. Response means a reaction. Receptor is a special sensitive tissue or organ which detects stimuli. Nerve impulses is an electrical messages produced by receptor. Effector are the parts of the body that carry out responses, for example, muscle and gland. In the diagram, you can see that the little boy is actually bitten by an ant. So first of all, the stimulus will be the ant bite. An ant bite on the skin stimulates the receptor in the skin, and hence the sensory organ, which is the skin. The receptor in the skin will produce electrical messages called the nerve impulses. These nerve impulses will be carried through the nerve to the brain, whereas the brain interprets the nerve impulses as pain. Again, from the brain, the nerve will help to carry the nerve impulses to the effector, and the effector, which is the arms of muscle, will help to activate the muscle contraction or relaxation, and finally the boys will respond. In general, the pathway from the stimulus to response in human will be stimulus, receptor in sensory organ, nerve, brain, nerve, effector, and finally response. What risks do we face if our skin could not detect and respond to stimuli? Question number 2. What will happen to the response of a person who is under the influence of alcohols or illegal drugs?